Hi, welcome back to another episode of Bastions and Basilisks, Bard Colleges, the most useless of colleges.
No, there's Warlock.
It's true.
Colleges.
Yeah,
They're
colleges.
not colleges, but they're
There's
packs.
Alabama. It's a college. Alabama College. That's a redundancy.
That just makes me think of the episode of SpongeBob where he's like shaped like Texas. He's like, "What am I?" I don't remember what Patrick said, but it's like that's all it made me think of.
It was a zinger, though. So once again, we're talking about Bard colleges. This is going to be the last video of current Bard colleges, unless they come out with more Bard colleges.
Let's hope they fix 1D&D.
Which isn't going to be 1D&D. It's just going to be like 5.5 now.
Yeah. Well, currently they're calling it 1D&D.
They changed that like a month or two ago. Yeah. I'm still calling it 1D&D. Yeah, because they're not going to change the system to a new system. They're just going to update the current system.
Yeah, because it's like you have a magic, a melee.
Yeah, like some of it, anyway, this isn't a video about the current system or the future system or the future current system or the current future system. So we're starting with me being amazing in all things. See, I can tangent like a motherfucker, but I can also bring it back.
I cannot.
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. At third level, College of Valor Bards get bonus proficiencies. They get proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. This is why I was saying like College of Swords and College of Valor are way too similar.
Yeah, because like you get medium armor and you get the
scimitar. And then you can use simpler martial weapons as your spell focus, which is arguably better. Yeah, College of Valor. Like if you're like, oh, maybe I should do College of Valor, just do College of Swords. It's better. So yeah, third level you get some proficiencies. Also, combat inspiration. Also at third level, you learn to inspire others in battle. A creature that has a bardic inspiration die from you can roll that die and add the number rolled to a weapon damage roll it just made. Alternatively, when an attack roll is made against the creature, it can use its reaction to roll a bardic inspiration die and add the number rolled to its AC against the attack after seeing the roll but before knowing whether it hits or misses. That's all they get for third level. This is going to be a real fast video, it seems. He's not saying shit, and all of these stuff.
I'm like trying to really reread competent inspiration because like I understood it up until the last sentence, and then I started rereading it just to make sure.
Yeah, so
now I can't understand anything.
Yeah, so essentially, if I use my bardic inspiration on an attack roll, I can also add that die roll to damage.
Okay.
If I'm being attacked, I can use my bardic inspiration die to add to my armor class.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you for dumbing it down for inebriated me. Okay, so that, yeah.
And it's after seeing the roll, but before knowing whether or not, that's one of those like, oh, they rolled a 2. I have a 18 armor class. I'm going to say it's good.
Yeah.
But if they rolled a 15, maybe it's not even worth it. They rolled a 9.
That's a great area.
Yeah. No, fuck it. I'll roll it. But like this is underwhelming. Like especially going from College of Swords where they get like a lot of stuff.
I would say a lot of the former ones were great. Like coming from
a lot of Player's Handbook ones are kind of meh.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, coming from the first one, which was good, the second one, which was good, Glamour is great.
Player's Handbook and Lore were the only, Lore and Valor were the only two of the Player's Handbook. So both of the Player's Handbook ones are kind of mediocre.
Yeah. This so far, yeah, I would rather just go swords. Way better.
Because then at 6th level they get extra attack. Everybody knows what that does. So like they could swing again, like shoot again.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like when they came to Bard with the PHB, they were just like, you know what? Let's just put 2 in there and leave it. That's what they said.
Right.
Let's make a magic related one. Let's make a martial one. And fuck it.
Right. So, I mean, extra attack is good, but you have really nothing to back it up. I mean, you could have a sword and a shield and medium armor, so you can have decent armor. Like you're arguably a little bit better in melee because you can have a shield than
Like
than swords, because now you
get to
have
add some AC, or you
that
get to add your.
you still can't target yourself.
Yeah, so it's someone else.
Yes.
So yeah, it works for them, but it doesn't really. Sword sounds better.
And then battle magic at level 14 or 14th level, you have mastered the art of weaving spellcasting and weapon use into a single harmonious act. When you use your action to cast a bard spell, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action, which is something that Eldritch Knights get as well.
I mean, it's not super powerful. It's not really powerful in my opinion.
Yeah, it's as far as all as far as all of these go, it's a solid capstone ability because you cast a spell and then you can still stab somebody. So, and if you're not, if all you're doing is bardic inspiring people, I choose my words, bardically inspiring people. There we go. You could still go, or I could just stab, blast you with fireball and then stab you, or blast that guy and then fireball that guy and then stab you. So it really depends, but like you're not doing the level of damage theoretically. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really play bards. They get up to 9th level spells though, so maybe. Yeah, this is Milquist. I don't get to use that word often. This is very Milquist.
Milquist?
Yeah, it's like meh, bland.
Never heard that word.
Yeah, that's my understanding of Milquist.
You know what? That's a tangent that's not worth going on.
Too late.
So the reason why I say it's not worth it is because it's simpler.
Or milk toast?
No. So I used to think the word.
Oh yeah, it is milk toast. It's not Milquist. It's milk toast. It's a timid or feeble person, feeble, insipid, or bland.
Are you serious? That's actually the word milk toast?
Yeah, it's Milque toast. But it's pronounced, Milk T-O-O with the little things above it, ST. Yeah, it's milk toast.
Milk toast or milk toast? I don't know how
I don't fucking know.
Like the squiggle? Or
I speak 2 languages. English and bad English.
Let's say I speak Ebonics. I speak
Ebonics.
It's official language, apparently.
It's true. It is. Hooked on Phonics works for me.
I speak English and I speak sarcasm.
I mean, obviously, I speak sarcasm. Or do I?
I just got told by one of my players that they can never tell when I'm being sarcastic because I speak so flat when I'm being sarcastic and I speak flat when I'm talking normally. He's like, I can never tell when you're being sarcastic. He's like, it doesn't also help that I was just recently diagnosed with autism from my doctor. I was like, I don't think you have to have an autism diagnosis to have an issue with that because a lot of people have an issue with me in general.
Yeah, that's fair. I have an issue with you.
I really do just speak even keel.
I have an issue with you not making enough time for me.
I've been trying. That's why I have 2 days for this.
Anyway, that's the College of Valor.
The College of Valor this conversation is more important than Valor. Just go to
But we are crushing it. 9 minutes, we're down 1 subclass. Boom. Yeah, College of Valor is bland. It's boring. It doesn't do anything. Go College of Swords at least, because then you get something.
So far out of all the colleges, I would say that Valor is the worst out of the ones that we have covered.
Worst as in
it doesn't offer.
Yeah, I still think Glamour is the worst because of how stupidly broken it is. But that's
but I'm saying I'm saying
on a 1 to 10 scale, yeah. Valor is like a 3. It's just so bland. It doesn't it technically it does add things to the class, but
Doesn't help a
only
lot.
only a little.
It's like superficial.
Um, so milk toast. Um,
It's just so wrong.
if I'm pronouncing it correctly,
I gotta
comment,
see the name.
subscribe. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, comment and like and tell me how to fucking pronounce it. Um,
Uh,
all right, so College of Whispers. I really like College of Whispers. Oops, all bards. Now I want to play a game that's all bards, except for nobody gets to play Glamour. So Psychic Blades. When you join the College of Whispers at third level, you gain the ability to make your weapon attacks magically toxic to a person's mind. Your swords say all lives matter. Um, no. When you hit it, I guess that only works on liberals. Say if it says Black Lives Matter, and that works on conservatives. See, so it's um, say all cops are bastards because they are. Um, sorry, Brandon, but that includes prison.
corrections.
Yeah, that includes corrections.
Meh. I'm
It's
not
the
about that.
problem. All right, we're going to tangent now. The problem is, and here's the problem: if if we are choosing to ignore the entire history of the prison industrial complex, which is a lot to ignore,
There is. It's
because police were created because they were originally the people that like were security guards for um
the elite.
no, my brain went, it's not concentration camps. Uh where slaves were kept and worked. My brain is plantations. They were originally like the guards for plantations. My brain is an asshole and went in a whole weird directions. They were guards on plantations, and then when slavery was outlawed, they had nothing to do, and so then they obviously made laws that made it so that they could imprison black people for literally no reason. And so they needed somebody to enforce these laws. So they made up this job called police officers. And like so that's just the modern day plantation guards. That's all police officers are. And they also created obviously the prison industrial complex to make money off like free, essentially legalize slavery.
I mean, to
Because
be
you
fair, in someone who is a CO, like this is where I can even bring this up. In Virginia, back where I worked, it most people know that inmates get pennies. I think the
right.
highest job that I know of in Virginia was a sheet metal shop. Sheet metal shop, I think at the highest, and this is years of working there, would pay, I think, 20 cents an hour, right? A fucking can of Coke costs like $5 in there. All right. So I don't even think 8 hours of work would get you one can of Coke, right? So it's fucked. Not now, I've met a lot of inmates who I don't, and this is my personal opinion, who I don't believe should have a lot of amenities, like mostly rapists, certain types of killers. Uh, that's just my personal belief, because these are the guys who kill indiscriminately or rape or rape like in general. Like I don't think that they should have certain amenities. Like you really don't necessarily need Coke to live. It's a pleasure, but I've had to work with those guys. Now, I also know that there's decent people, even though they committed crimes, like certain drug dealers, certain murderers who are like one offs, are like, yeah, I had a psychotic break. Uh, People who just did stupid shit, like they drove drunk, but they didn't hurt anyone. Like regular people that we meet every day, uh, and they're on the inside. But I also see how the correction system has abused that and has taken, say, someone who just didn't pay a parking ticket, and they will stack, because inside you can get street charges. Not every charge is a street charge. Usually it's something like heavy amounts of drugs, murder, that type of stuff. But they will purposely stack these things to extend your
Mm-hmm.
in the correction system. And depending on the state, I don't know about Virginia anymore, as I've been out of that, but like the system that I know is like they will continue pushing you. Here, you have to have some sort of job. Now, the only job that makes money here in Florida is, I believe, Pride. Now, a lot of people want the Pride because it makes money, but You don't make money for outside grounds that I know of, unless you're on some sort of work release. You don't make money for working in the kitchen. You don't do anything for inside grounds. You don't do anything for paint squad, all these types of things. Like that type of stuff you don't get paid for. And it's very obvious when you look into this stuff and you were like, hey, look, this is pretty much slavery. And the judicial system's like, it's meant to be. It's a punishment, even though the punishment is prison.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, it's like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
The problem is, so and that's the thing, is that it's change the name then, because it's the Department of Corrections. You're correcting you're correcting behavior. Like it's either Department of fuck you, sucks to be you, or Department of Rehabilitation. The implication is by Department of Corrections, it's Department of Rehabilitation.
Yeah.
You're out of society. You kind of repent on your sins, as it were, and then go get out eventually. But like,
So also, and this is a part that I don't really like talking about, because this is something that also kind of matters on the inside, is that as someone who's done this for 2+ years, now that's not a lot of time, but I've met a lot of people in that time. A lot of people that I've met just want to do their time. That's the ultimate truth. They just
right,
want to go through, do what they do. I'm more of a lenient corrections officer. I'm not always up people's asses. I'm not always trying to cause a problem. But this is something that I always tell people on my pod. Hey, you cause me to do my job, I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to do it damn well.
right, yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
Don't cause me problems. Guess what? We're going to be fucking fine.
I'm happy, you're happy, type of, like, yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like, you're just trying to be here. Like, shit happened, probably some
This is
bullshit.
your
You're
home.
here, you're here. You just want to be here for the time and then leave. I get
Exactly.
that. Do that. Be good. Do the time. Be humans to each other. And then I get to have a nice. I get paid for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours to just watch people just like it's watching reality TV without the TV. Like,
The issue goes into its prison. Outside, gangs, all these types of things. And it seems stupid, but the issue is that prison has a reputation for a reason. At my current camp, I'm not going to say a name, but at my current camp, we're pretty decent. We don't really have a lot of violence, thankfully.
Benito. No, I'm just kidding.
An issue. Well, no, the reason why I say that is because I
I
could
know.
lose my job.
No, I
But
got it. I got it. It's funny. Anyway, there's also we've sidetracked way too much. I was going to do a quick little thing, and now we've
yeah,
sidetracked a
it's
whole lot
the whole thing now. Uh, but the issue is, it's like prison is the way it is
on purpose.
in it's on purpose, but it's become to the point where like our laws, and I'm not sure if you know this, but like Florida is becoming more lenient on inmates. Uh, and it's getting to the point where it's actually caused problems. A lot of these inmates that I've known who are lifers, there are people who are like really like what people would call problematic inmates, are like, yeah, like they can't move without another inmate trying to kill them. And then they're like, hey, why can't you do shit? And it's like, the laws say I can't do this. The laws say I literally could have a problem doing this to you because it's harassment. So I can't search this inmate 4 times out of the day, even though I know for a fact he has a shank, because if he says, hey, this is retaliation or this is racism, I could lose my job, as this could be racism. I coincidentally got an information off of an inmate that this inmate had a cell phone, searched his stuff. Guess what? Not even 5 days later, I get pulled into my captain's office, and he's like, guess what? This inmate put a grievance saying that you're racist. I'm like, we got a kite on it. And they're like, eh? Now, note, I don't typically get a lot of kites. They were like, whatever, but like, that happens to a lot of officers, people who tend to do their job above and beyond, or just in general. Some inmates are really whiny and they're like, this is bullshit. To some degree, yes. But remember that prison is full of everyday peoples. You have Karens within the inmate society. You have people who are just really chill. You have the psychos that are like really don't need to be there. They need to be in like legitimate like mental institution camps. And the reason why I call them psychos is because they can go fucking crazy in a second. I've at back in Virginia, I saw a dude fucking rip his entrails out, which is crazy. But it's like the camp could be full of random shit, and you don't know what you get. It's violence is a commonplace because even though there's corrections officers, the human element is involved. gangs are involved. It's like we can't help sometimes but to be the assholes, and sometimes we can. Like, I know plenty of people at my current job that they don't need to be there. This camp is really chill. You don't need these guys who are constantly up these guys' ass and are constantly trying to find a way to get them removed from this program. Or you don't need these guys constantly causing problems. Like how I'm talking to you, like we have a normal conversation. Some officers don't do that. They're like, who the fuck are you? Why the fuck are you talking to me? Type of shit. It's like, we don't need that.
Yeah, you don't need to be antagonistic.
Yeah, like I work in confinement. Only reason why I talk to an inmate like that is if they start having a problem. You start being a dick, I'm going to be a dick back. And then it goes from there. That's just how I am. Now, a lot of inmates like me because I treat them like human beings. Confinement's a little different. I've already had people try to throw piss and shit at me. Not very fun, but it's part of the job. It happens. I'm not going to sit here and freak the fuck out over stupid shit, but when stupid shit happens and it affects me, shit rolls downhill sometimes. And sadly, that's just a correction system. That's also another reason why I don't want to be an actual police officer. I know who I am, and I know that I have a very short temper. Why would I want to put that into a situation where I'm already high stress and these people that I could be having issues with have possibilities of a gun, a knife, that type of thing. So I realized through self-awareness that I was like, that's not smart. Not at all. I'd rather not go into that. I'm already looking for a way out of fucking corrections in the first place. I hate this
Good,
shit.
good. Anyway, so when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one use. See, I'm able to tangent right the fuck back. Um, it should be Department of the Correction should help correct behaviors, and people should come back into society instead of people losing 20 years of their life. People should be coming back. Anyway,
It,
um, that's a whole.
it does happen.
That's already the time for that's for another video.
I don't know what video that would be.
I have no idea.
Hopefully you have editing to cut all that out.
I could, but then people won't understand what I'm talking about if I cut it all out. Um, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, and I'm just going to start back over. Psychic Blades. When you join the College of Whispers at 3rd level, you gain the ability to make your weapon attacks magically toxic to a creature's mind. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to deal an additional 2d6 damage to the target. You could do so only once per round on your turn.
It is psychic damage.
It is psychic. The psychic damage increases when you reach certain levels in this class, increasing to 3d6 at 5th level, 5d6 at 10th level, and 8d6 at 15th level. Excuse me. Essentially, you give yourself sneak attack 5 times per short rest. Good talk. Words of terror. No, I like it. I like Psychic Blades because it's one of those things that if you have an idea, like if you have a, it would have almost made more sense for Perrin, my mask domain cleric, to go.
And 2d6 in itself, it doesn't sound that bad. And the fact that it stacks like a cantrip is pretty good. Like,
right, it levels up. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's supposed to like mimic sneak attack damage.
yeah, this is
Because you don't get quite. Because you don't. I mean, you don't get quite up to 10d6 like you would at 20th level or 19th level technically, but you're pretty close. So like, there's really this is one of those subclasses too that like if you dipped 3 levels into Bard for whatever reason, like if you're a rogue Bard, take 3 levels, go College of Whispers, you're making up. You're not losing necessarily those 3 levels of Bard because now you can still do an extra 2d6 of damage. So you're doing the same amount of sneak damage you would with sneak attack. So it's you're still doing extra damage, pseudo consistently, and it's psychic damage too. So once again, we've established it's not a lot of things are resistant to psychic damage. If you build a character, if you're like assassin Bard or assassin College of Whispers, then it's a critical hit. So then you're doing it. Then it counts as additional. Like there's so much you can add to it. I really like it because it's extra damage, and this is probably one of my favorite subclasses. I like eloquence, but this also and creation. Having read through creation, I really like creation, but I think this is the one that I've probably read through the most, and I really like this one. So psychic blades is solid because it's extra damage for that the bard can do, and it's not like you have to make extra swings or whatever. It's just you hit, and it doesn't say it's not melee, so you can be shooting people with your crossbow or your short bow and doing psychic damage to them.
So here's the good thing about this is that it says when you, I think it says when you hit it. Yeah, it says when you hit a creature with a weapon attack.
Yeah.
You don't have to call this beforehand. So
Exactly. So it's like smite. You could decide to smite after. If you find out it's a crit, you could then choose to use it. So you could save it for when you crit things.
Yeah, that's beneficial to shit.
Right. Because
dude, save that for a crit. Fuck yeah. So you played Jasalt and you got a sneak attack on this bitch and you did with this character? Holy fuck, man, that's a lot of damage.
Don't give me too many ideas. I already have 4 other characters.
I'm pretty sure you already thought about this.
I have. I like the. That's why I went Assassin Warlock with Gung, because I like, or Hung. I think it's Hung.
Is he hung?
He might have been hung at one point. He belonged to the bad guys. He's hung the silent, so probably not. Maybe I should have him not talk. That's a good. Maybe I should have him not talk because he was hung and like messed up his vocal cords, and now he can't talk.
That is not the hung that I was going with. But
I'm aware what you went with, but I'm not a fucking child. I know, 28-year-olds.
23.
I thought you were 28.
No, I'm 23. Is that why you said 28 like 2 videos
yeah.
ago?
It's Harley's 28.
No, Harley's 32.
Oh, I didn't think I thought you were a little older. God, I'm hanging out with children. Hanging out with children, y'all. You're only 6 years older than that.
Howdy.
I don't know. Okay, then they're sleeping. Shh, they're sleeping. It's my kid. No, I love Psychic Blades. Psychic Blades is because once again, it's psychic damage. You never know when that's going to be useful, because it's worst case something is like immune or resistant to psychic damage. Then you just use your bardic inspiration to be bardic inspiring. Like it's not a negative, but once again, I like bardic classes that are able to use their own bardic inspiration. Because sometimes you're like, I don't like if people have really well built characters. Sometimes you don't get a lot of chance to like, here's a bardic inspiration, or if you're like me, where somebody who gives inspiration out like candy, you're like, just make Kalvin laugh. He'll give you an inspiration. I don't need to inspire you. I just have to inspire the GM, and he'll give me an inspiration, type of thing. Godly inspiration is way better anyway, and so just use your inspiration and then make me laugh, and then you'll get it back. Like, or you come up with some creative way of doing something, and I'll give you advantage. Like it's something to use. So I don't like that you can't inspire yourself. Essentially, I dislike that you can't inspire yourself.
In my opinion, like it seems kind of like, oh, you have this really cool ability, but it's not meant for you. It's meant for others. Which like you could, but like, so bards are meant to be kind of like, at least for my point of view, I am a musician. It's like whenever I think of a bard, I think of someone who can sing, someone who can recite poetry, someone who can play an instrument, that type of thing. So it takes kind of away from the musical aspect of it, in my opinion. So it's like, dude, why couldn't they just, pick up an instrument and then do something,
Well, that's the thing, is that bards are too entertainer is its own fucking background.
That's fair, but are bards not meant to be?
I'm not saying they can't entertain, but all bards can, like it's like the whiskey scotch thing. It's like, not all scotches. All scotches are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are scotches. Yeah. Type of thing. I only know that because I have an acquaintance who told me that. But it's like the same thing. Like all bards.
All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles.
All bards are entertainers, as in they entertain people in some form or fashion, but not all entertainers are bards.
That's fair.
Because you can have a fighter, entertainer, rogue, entertainer, wizard, entertainer. It's a background for a reason. Yes, bards get musical instruments, or instrument proficiencies and whatnot, but like it doesn't mean that. That's why I hate bards so fucking much. Is because everybody plays bards the exact fucking same. Like it's like people who like Deadpool, like it's that like there's no fucking depth to your character. You're like, ha! I just make stupid, silly jokes. Ah! Like, all right, Peter, Peter. Like I'm like, have some fucking substance and depth, because that's why I'm like, you're a stupid wizard who failed out of wizard school and went to clown college because you're like, I can't be smart enough to know shit, so I'm just gonna play my ukulele and make funny. Ha! I'm Stephen Lynch. Ha!
I really, really want to make a character whose entire thing is that they couldn't make it as a wizard, so they decided to be a bard. Like he
Could have cut it as a poor man stealing. Like it's just no, for sure. And I have nothing wrong with I have no issue with bards fundamentally. If they really do, you read the description of both of them, they feel like they're just a different version of wizard. Like wizard or bard should be a subclass of wizard based on how bards are designed. Essentially, they go out and they learn new things, and that's their whole thing. Same thing with wizards. The difference is wizards spend their time in libraries learning stuff, and bards go out and talk to people. But that doesn't mean that wizards can't go out and talk to people. And because the College of Lore, that doesn't mean that bards can't go into libraries and learn things. Like there's also, the cloistered scholar background. So so it's tangent. It's just that's the thing, is that yes, they do get instruments, but you don't, like, just because you know how to play an instrument, like, yeah, there's a lot of people that, like, there are people that go to, like, that know how to play fucking hot cross buns on a recorder. That doesn't mean that they're a bard. That just means that they know how to play hot cross buns because they learned how to do it as an extracurricular activity while they were in high school.
You had to do it in high school?
Well, you can do it in high school or middle school or whatever, like in school. In school. But I mean, but then that's also kind of what the background actually accounts for, because what did you do kind of while growing up, while learning how to do whatever it is your class does, or before learning how to do what your class does, or after you learned how to be whatever. But yeah, not all bards. All bards are entertainers, but not all entertainers are bards, and that's the problem. Is that everybody plays bards as the entertainer background. We're singing and we're dancing and we're making everyone laugh. Like, no, it's like scalds are a thing. People who tell stories, people who poems, people who, philosophers are bards. Like it makes me angry how everybody plays bards the exact fucking same. Like it's cookie cutter. Like there's no depth to the people that play bards, and it just makes me angry. I mean, it's arguably there's people who only play wizards the same way too. So all classes fall into a stereotype, and it's frustrating. And unfortunately, warlocks fall into their fucking useless stereotype, and I feel bad for them, but I don't, because I hate them. But like, yeah, all wizards are nerds. Be like, not necessarily. What, like, yes, evocationists, like there are wizards. Anyway, this isn't about wizards, but that's my issue with people who play
bards. It's not the wizard's fault that he can quote Boko no Pico perfectly.
Right. And it's not the bard's fault that they can go through. They know, like, 5 different Shakespeare plays front to back.
Look, I feel like my bard being the first insult comic of its kind.
No, and that is ingenious, or fucking you weren't in the game with Van's bard, because it was kind of the same thing. Like 317, like he had a 10 charisma, and he was a bard.
Jesus.
His whole character concept was, I fucking love Van. His whole concept was like because he was one of the Tel'Darum. He was a Tel'Darum when they gained sentience, which we all know how they gain sentience now. And so he just decided to, like, he didn't want to bang metal anymore. So he still has, like, his hammer arm. Like his arm transforms into like a maul because he did hammering, but it turns into a hand when he's not using it, and it's like. But he decided he accidentally something kind of cracked him up, like he hit metal wrong. I think that's his whole thing. Like he hit metal in a weird way, and it made him chuckle. He's like, huh, what's this laughter thing? So it's like he's a bard who's trying to find purpose in the world as a comedian, like a stand-up comic. Like it was great.
I love Van for the
Van
only
is the
time.
best. Van is the best.
I really wish you could join the game again.
Well, I wish you could join game too, fucker.
My job sucks.
Touche, Kalvin, touche. But yeah, no, I think my brother, he was playing a Shatterkai bard who had oh fuck, what was the instrument? Like it was one of those like huge instruments that you can't carry. Like he actually hired somebody and paid them and a horse to carry his instruments for him. And it was like a mega bassoon. It's like one of those like huge like Ricola. Like it's like one of the like it's these monstrous things that like he couldn't carry around. So bards can be interesting and done in a more interesting way. It's just everybody plays bards like fucking Sam Riegel, where they want to fuck everything and they just sing and dance, and that's their entire character depth.
Well, I'm going to be honest. When I first started getting into D&D, I note I got into it senior year of high school. Never knew what a bard was like. Sam Riegel was the first bard I ever came across. I loved it. Got into D&D. Every time I heard about bards acting like that, I just thought they were copying Sam Riegel. I'm not even joking. And I still have that belief to this day. And it sucks because I know that it's not necessarily true. Sure, Sam just like brought into the same stereotype, but it's like it's hard to not make that correlation when that was the first one I've ever came across
Right.
and do the same thing.
And it's like there are people that when Dritz Duerden came out, everybody started playing Dark Elf Rangers using two scimitars that were super edgy. Like I get it, but
I was told by
it's no longer the fucking 90s anymore, guys. Like and gals and non-binary pals. Like we are past that point. Like we have the internet, we have communication, we have sharing of knowledge and experiences. Like you don't have to play every bard the exact same. I have to play every kobold the exact same, but that's just in my head. All kobolds are fundamentally the same. And they're to be fair, they're also all related because there's spoon, there's knife, there's hammer. Like they all, if they have a utensil based
what is this, Dragon Ball?
Spade, or no, not spade, ladle. No, they, yeah, yes. All kobolds are like I follow the Akira Toriyama naming scheme, where all kobolds. That's the only reason why Draziel doesn't have a normal name, kobold name. It's because he's not a normal kobold. Um, but no, all of my kobolds are related. I've decided, even though they're from different realities. Um, but yeah, that's my issue with. Anyway, just a second fucking tangent. We got through Valor too fast, and so we had to sidetrack for a half an hour about random shit. That's my issue with bards. We probably went over that when we were talking about bards. It's just be creative. Like, yeah, my wizard is super fun. My Thazar is the nerdiest of nerdy wizards, but he also helped his friends to create a drink called the Gnomish Cart Bomb, and he drinks and he goes out like, and he doesn't run away from melee. Like he adopted a Minotaur baby. Like just because he's a nerd does not mean that that's all that he is. And that's the problem, is that everybody plays and they have one thing that they do, and then that's it. That's all they do.
It's funny because we all know that Blood Hunter is my favorite class, and like how most people who play Blood Hunters are like edge galore.
Oh,
so I
edge.
purposely made a character who was the epitome of edge. So he barely talked. All he did was collect blood samples, and when like people talk to him, they wouldn't even call him by his name. Just go, "Hey, blood boy," and that's it. Like he literally was just obsessed with blood itself.
God, I would pay to have you play a Blood Hunter that like is like the cliche edgy, not like somebody that's kind of edgy, like somebody's like, you like don't understand me, the like depths of my soul. Like,
Oh, you want me to do that, dude? I'd fucking do that in a
like,
heartbeat.
oh, he's so funny.
You don't
Played it.
understand.
You don't understand. Like, I got this curse upon my body. I don't know. I went surfer dude with it, but
You just went Napoleon Dynamite as a motherfucker.
a little bit. Napoleon Dynamite as a blood hunter.
I feel like they would go.
Oh, like,
Gosh, he's just a angsty teenager.
and but like no, but they're medium, and so you have to go the ghost hunter ones. Be like, oh, there's a ghost here, and like, what is? I've never seen the movie, so I don't. And then obviously then you have to have a character that's a monk, and he just knows how to use the nunchucks, um, and he can throw a stake a really long distance. Anyway, so words of terror. This is the most. This is the most non sequitur episode we've done. At
God,
third level, you learn to infuse innocent seeming words with an insidious magic that can inspire terror. If you speak to a humanoid alone for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to seed paranoia and fear into its mind. At the end of the conversation, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be frightened of you or another creature of your choice. The target is frightened in this way for 1 hour until it is attacked or damaged, or until it witnesses its allies being attacked or damaged. If the target succeeds on its saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried to frighten it. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. You see how this is different than Glamour? It's similar, but different. Sorry, this is coming more judgmental. It's similar but different because I'm just still angry about bards in general. But because you're only targeting one person, so it's not a group effect. If you were, and it's still 1 hour, and it's still the 1 minute thing, but it's only one person, and it's frightening them, which I think somebody being scared of you is a lot more detrimental. I think what is it in Burn Notice, they make the thing that like interrogation is notoriously terrible at getting information because people would just tell you what you want to hear so to make you'll stop hurting them.
yeah.
So it's a lot, and I do like that it's or another creature of your choice. I like the idea that you're like, hey, that guy over there in the pants, he's looking at you. I think he
Dude, I
wants to
can
kill you.
barely hear you.
I know that's the point. But like you're talking to some fine. You're like, hey, that guy over there, like with the pants, I think he wants to kill you. I think he's gonna kill you. He might kill you. Like he's gonna come over here. He's gonna rip out your heart and then eat it, and then shit in your heart hole. But like but but I can't. Sorry, it's still funny to me. But so it's not like you're like, hey, love me, say that you love me. I would once again, glamour bards are banned, but you're only allowed to play. That's the song you have to sing for the full minute.
You need to play a stereotypical bard. I'll
I
play the stereotypical
oh,
blood hunter.
you play the edgy blood hunter, and I'll play. I don't know if I could because I don't actually have any musical skills.
It doesn't
Uh,
matter. You gotta try. We gotta do
legally,
it.
there's still legal conjecture about whether or not I can actually sing. Um,
Legal conjecture.
legal conjecture. Well, it's a joke with me and Van about how if we go to court, somebody like that'll be the definitive. We go to court, and then like legally they'll be like, either I was singing, like if it's not terrible, then I can actually sing. If I can't, then I definitively can't, and I get to tell people that I can't sing. So if people are like, you can't sing, I'm like, no, legally I can sing. Like documented in a legal argument, I can actually sing. The law decided that I can sing. It's
So
not
does that
good,
help with the parody
but
clause?
it's the same thing in the other direction. If somebody's like, oh no, I'm sure you can sing, I'm like, no, I went to court over this. I can't sing. Like the law decided. Like I was guilty of not being able to sing. Like it's actually considered a war crime in certain places.
It's
Um,
considered war crime.
so,
Jesus.
but I like I think I'd have to get out of my. I don't think I could play a bard because I wouldn't be able to get out of my own head enough, and that's the problem.
You can do it. I
I
believe in
could
you.
at. I'm sure I could at some point. I'm technically playing a bard right now, but he's mostly a cleric that took levels in bard. Um, but I like this. This one does not feel as broken as Glamour Bard. It's a similar. It's a very similar ability. And I think they're both from Xanathars,
They
right?
are. They're both from Xanathars.
Yeah,
Because
Whispers.
Whisper is
Yeah, they're both. So they pretty much just copy pasted it, but they probably decided that up to 5 people being frightened of someone is too broken as compared to 5 people just wanting to make sweet sweet love. It is. I looked it up, but make sweet sweet
well,
love
that's
to a
true.
person. Um. So yeah, I like this. Like I said, it's one person. I also like that it's you or somebody else. So I like the idea of being sneaky about it and just talking to somebody. You'd be like, I'm like, man, do you see that guy over there? No, don't look. He's just like, he looks so cute. I think he wants to kill you. Like, don't, like, it's just so funny. No, like, for real, I think he's gonna kill you. You should probably run. Like, preferably screaming. Like,
That just reminds me of that scene from Deadpool. It was like, you shouldn't kidnap people. You did a very good job.
right.
That scene
Uh,
from the first one.
you gaslight them essentially into running away. Um, like it's more tactical, and I like that instead of just like as we established, love me, say that you love me, hold me, hold me. And then people are like, I want to hold him. I love him.
One Direction obsession with your character.
What?
It's
Right.
like they just have a One
Yeah.
Direction obsession with you.
Right. Um, I like that they have no hint that you tried to frighten them because you're because it feels this one feels more subtle. Like you're like I was saying, like it's you're seeding paranoia versus you're singing about like you love me, do you want me, do you want me, do you love me for a minute, and they're like, yeah, I kind of do. Why though? You're not my type. Like I don't know. I like it because it's tactical. Anyway, I'm gonna stop singing. Mantle of Whispers. I'm not gonna stop singing until the law decides whether or not what I do is singing or not. At 6th level, you gain the ability to adopt a humanoid's persona. When a humanoid dies within 30 feet of you, you can magically capture its shadow using your reaction. Sorry, you can magically capture its shadow using your reaction. It's always weird going to a different line. You retain the shadow until you use it or you finish a long rest. You can use the shadow as an action. When you do so, it vanishes, magically transforming into a disguise that appears on you. You now look like the dead person, but healthy and alive, obviously. This disguise lasts for 1 hour or until you end it as a bonus action. While you're in the disguise, you gain access to all information that the humanoid would freely share with a casual acquaintance, which I really like. Such information includes general details on its background and personal life, but doesn't include secrets. The information is enough that you can pass yourself off as the person by drawing on its memories. Another creature can see through this disguise by succeeding on a wisdom insight check contested by your charisma deception check. You gain a +5 bonus to your check. Once you capture a shadow with this feature, you can't capture another one with it until you finish a short or long rest.
Dude, that's a fucking stellar ability.
Especially if you take the actor feat, because then I think you have advantage on that roll.
Dude, that's amazing. That's a
Right.
solid 10 out of 10
Right.
ability.
That is a solid circumstantial 10.
Yeah. It's not where it's going to be great among
Right.
every like a martial or a combat and roleplay feat.
Right.
But given what it is as a roleplay, dude, 10 out of 10. Love that. That is
Right.
super beneficial.
It is. Like it's it's and but it's not a 12. It's not a 15. Like I'm gonna keep ragging on Glamour because it's literally the same fucking book.
It is.
So
Like this, I could see like you need to get into like say a camp, like utilizing the Iron Shepherds from campaign 2 of Critical Role, right? Had one of the characters been a College of Whispers bard, they ended up killing one of the guards of the Iron Shepherds and then just waltz right the fuck in, you know? Obviously, a disguise self, and I think that disguise self failed, but this would have been perfect because you sound like them, you look like them, and you have the information
At least enough.
to
Yeah.
pass off. And you have a +5 to this. Like, dude, perfect. They would have
Um,
one person could have waltzed in, developed some sort of distraction, like, hey, can you guys come with me, hang out, blah blah. After they took out the other sentry,
it reminds me a little bit more of because you steal their shadow after they're dead, but it reminds me of a downplayed version of what Alex Mercer does in the
sounds pretty familiar.
prototype games or game because he's not the
That's why I've
protagonist.
heard it. I
Yeah,
never played Prototype, but I've heard of it.
essentially he can like absorb people into his host is really the only proper word, and then he gains like all of their knowledge. So if they have like gun knowledge or security clearance, like, and he can also turn into their form. So he could like, and he
Oh
has their
yeah,
DNA and their biometrics, and so like it's kind of similar, not as grandiose, because it's not glamour, but it's the boom. This is what I say,
I
like
hate on
it's
that as much as you hate on
oh,
fucking Orb.
it's true. It's that's what this is. See, this is what I'm saying. It's like when if I don't like you, you know, I'm not subtle about it. You'll know I hate you. It takes a
Dude,
lot to get me to
I
this
could
point.
go on into that.
I could just go. But no, I like it. It doesn't feel broken. It's because it's very specific, and it even says that like somebody, people can see through the disguise, so you could roll poorly on your deception check. But I mean, if you have expertise in deception, and theoretically you should be rolling well. Once again, you take the actor feat. That's worthwhile. Um, it's, I think that one gives you a +1 to your charisma. I think that's the only reason one of my monk paladin took it, because I needed charisma, um, and a non-combat feat. But yeah, it's once per short rest or long rest. Like it's not bardic inspiration uses. It's not proficiency uses per day. It's once per short rest.
Along this, yeah, dude, that's a pretty good one.
And
Seriously.
and like you have to kill the person too. So like that's this is if you were doing like this, I would be surprised if somebody hasn't tried this in like the water deep module, because that's like a heist
Yeah.
module. Um, I would just be surprised if like this is a really good subterfuge bard, and it plays well into you're probably charisma is your primary stat as a bard, so having deception, like you're probably going to succeed. You should have a ludicrously high roll because you've probably taken deception as one of your expertises. So you should be really good at deception, and a +5 on top of that, and then theoretically you've taken, like I said, the actor feat. Keep hamming it up, but it's a good feat. And yeah, it's limited to once per short rest, which is nice. It's a nice little. It's a strong ability, but limited in how many times you can use it. It only gives you basic knowledge. Nothing. You don't like absorb their secrets, which is once again a nice little specific thing. It's good, but not great, not amazing, not
Gives you enough
overpowered.
for what it
It's
does.
good. It's good. It's strong for what it does. Like, and so, and it's only lasts for an hour. So you gotta choose that hour carefully. Um, but you can capture the shadow at any point, but then once you use it, you only have an hour. So you could be like, all right, we killed this guy. We got maybe you got like some specific information. Maybe you got like you're able to get like a passcode out of him or something, which is more than he would normally have. But then you show up and they're like, "What's the password?" You're like, "It's haberdashery." They're like, "All right," and then you get in there and so there's like, "Oh, Jim, how's it going?" And you're like, "Oh, that's Bob. Hey, Bob, how's it going? Oh, how's the wife and kids? They're doing all right." I'm like, "Oh, that's good. How's yours? Oh, they're fine. They're at home, doing their thing. You know how they are." Like, And they get the bonus, but like once again, even without the actor feat, if you scouted them enough, I would give you more than just a +5. Like it all depends on what you do going into it. Kind of like the assassin, like you're building the the false identity type of thing. So it really depends on if you watch this guy and you get his pattern down and you know that he has a wife and kids, which would be something that he shares with acquaintances, but I don't know. It's not. It's just. It feels more. It's not that the shadow tells you now. It's like you already knew that. I don't know. I just. It could be. It could be utilized. It could be really, really even stronger depending on how somebody played it, but not broken. Unlike, what. So it's good. I like it. That's like it's a really I really like. Yeah, Mantle of Whispers is good. Shadow Lore. At 14th level, you gain the ability to weave dark magic into your words and tap into a creature's deepest fears. Slugs. It's slugs, by the way. Um, or that I will never amount to anything and that nobody actually loves me. Pick one. As an action, you magically whisper a phrase that only one creature of your choice within 30 feet of you can hear. The target must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. It automatically succeeds if it doesn't share a language with you or if it can't hear you. On a successful saving throw, your whisper sounds like unintelligible mumbling and has no effect, which I really like. Hey, go kill that fucker over there. Or that guy wants to eat your brains and shit in your heart hole. But instead, it's Simlish. Um, if the target fails to...
Music made in Simlish.
What?
There's actual music made in Simlish.
Oh, I know. It's fascinating. I saw a thing, now that I've accidentally opened that can of worms, I saw a thing that's like there's a guy, and I played it for them, that if you speak Italian, but in an English with an American accent, it sounds like you're speaking Simlish.
Arrivederci.
Buongiorno, arrivederci. Like it's like how he does it. Like it's like I don't know.
This reminds me of fucking Brad Pitt's character.
Oh, Buongiorno. Yeah. I don't want to talk about that director because I hate him. But yeah.
Oh, but
Well, I wasn't talking to you. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to me, so that's why I turned around.
Oh, okay. But no,
we're talking about the Simlish thing that if you speak Italian with an English American accent, it sounds like Simlish. The video that I played with you. Yeah, they're fucking right. It does. It sounds 100%. And they're obsessed with The Sims. They love The Sims, so they're my resident expert on that.
There was a modern campaign that I played, which was like it's a modern D&D setting, where my character there was an Italian mafia group, because we're apparently playing an evil setting and we're all gang members. But my player character was being interrogated by some like Italian mafia people, but the other character, my buddy who was playing a character, he was the one that was predominantly in the heat. So I ended up doing something fucking cool as shit. And I think I ended up like sniping some dude off a roof, and like I walked down and like dealt with something, didn't realize there was two snipers. And we're talking a lot of mad shit, and I just go arrivederci and turn around and start fucking off. And like I don't know why, but I ended up getting inspiration for that because we were just like that day we were watching Inglourious Bastards, so he was like, that was fucking hilarious, and I don't know why, but it was
arrivederci.
I don't know why, but like it popped naturally into my head, and I didn't know why it was so funny until he explained it to me, but it just worked.
Right. We did a game on Sunday. We were using Speak with Dead, and we were trying to figure out how to ask in such a way, be like, what some people were speaking some foreign language, and we're like, all right, what were some of the words that in this foreign language? And the idea was that, like, yeah, of course I don't speak any languages, as we've established. So I was like, if somebody starts talking in French, you're like, oh, that's French. I don't understand what they're saying in French, but I know that they're speaking French, or theoretically, or like Spanish or German, or
I can say Deutsch. I don't know how to ask if you habla español. I don't speak it, obviously.
No habla español is Spanish. Sprechen Sie English, I think.
I can say I was about to say anglais, which is Spanish.
But the point is you might not know what somebody is saying. Ich liebe dich, mein Liebling. You don't know what somebody's saying.
Did you really just say "I love you" in such a fucking? I think that was. I don't even know if that's how it's properly said.
Ich liebe dich, mein Liebling. I don't remember. Dobro
But
jutro, dobro jutro, kako ste moj prijatelj.
I don't understand what the fuck you just said.
Serbian. It's
That's
good morning,
Serbian?
yeah, that's Serbian. It's good
That
morning.
sounded like Spanish.
Dobro jutro, kako ste moj prijatelj.
The Moy made it sound like Spanish. That's impressive. I didn't know that they sounded so similar to that sentence.
Dobro jutro.
I don't know. Maybe you're not saying it
Kako ste
like aggressively enough to sound Russian.
Dobro jutro, kako ste moj prijatelj. Moj prijatelj. Moj prijatelj. Moj prijatelj. I don't know why it's Italian all of a sudden.
Sounds like Italian.
Dobro jutro, kako ste moj prijatelj. See, now it sounds.
Now it just sounds like you're German.
9. But the point is, that was the point, is that if you're speaking, like, you don't know what I was saying, but you're like, all right, that's from the Balkans type of thing. And essentially we found out that they were actually speaking Druidic, which my barbarian knows because he used to be a Druid before my Druid levels were turned into Warlock levels. But I was like, oh yeah. And Curtis is like, oh yeah, it's a language you can't speak anymore. I was like, no, I can speak it. Who the fuck is going to stop me? Is a circle of druids going to come and try to take me, like kill me for knowing this language? They can certainly fucking try.
I accidentally, you can certainly try is obviously like a Matt Mercer thing. I didn't realize how often he said it until I watched a TikTok video about it. And then I did it organically while I was playing D&D yesterday, because I think Ed, he was wanting one of his characters to jump off a tree and try to like stab a creature they're fighting. He's like, can I do that? I was like, you can certainly try. And I was realizing that I did that. I was like, God damn it.
Well, it's the same thing with like, you don't realize how much you say to be fair until you hang out with people who watch Letterkenny.
I love fucking Letterkenny, dude.
Yeah, but I say to be fair a lot, and my sibling and their husband love it. So anytime I talk to them, they go, to be fair. I'm like, can you stop fucking interrupting my train of thought? I'm trying to talk.
Yeah.
I will punch you in your non-existent dick hole.
Dude,
anyway, Shadow Lore.
Like that for a while.
Back to Bards. We're only getting through. We only have 2 Bards to go through, so we got to dick off for 90% of the time.
Honestly.
Okay, so it automatically succeeds if it doesn't. I'm going to start over. Shadow Lore, once again. At 14th level, you gain the ability to weave dark magic into your words and tap into a creature's deepest fears. Like I said, slugs or dying alone. As an action, you magically I gotta hit him again. You magically whisper a phrase that only one creature of your choice within 30 feet of you can hear. The target must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. It automatically succeeds if it doesn't share language with you, or if it can't hear you. On a successful saving throw, your whisper sounds like unintentional mumbling and has no effect. Like Simlish. Boom. We've gone back to where we started. It's like Tenant. Did I tell you that, like, there's a guy that's like, if you say Italian... No, I'm just kidding. I was going to restart the whole tangent. If the target fails its saving throw, it is charmed by you for the next 8 hours, or until you or your allies attack or damage it. It interprets the whispers as a description of its most mortifying secret.
Dude, this reminds me of Happy. You know what I'm talking about? That sci-fi one with Christopher Maloney.
Oh, I'm familiar. I didn't watch it, but I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I just recently got to season 2. It's very much like Happy, like just the blackmail type of thing.
While you gain no knowledge of this secret, the target is convinced you know it. While charmed in this way, the creature obeys your commands for fear that you will reveal its secret. It won't risk its life for you or fight for you, unless it was already inclined to do so. It grants you favors and gifts it would offer to a close friend. Where the effect ends, the creature has no understanding of why it held you in such fear. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
Dude, that's potent as shit. It does not remember or know why. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't know why I'm afraid of you this way. Like, that was weird. I don't know. Maybe
It's a panic attack, obviously. You probably had some kind of panic attack about it. But yeah, like it's this once again, this is like a playing up of Mantle of Whispers. Like this is like a nice little addition on top of that because it's once again still just one person. It's not, and it's a wisdom saving throw, which a lot more things have. It's not like everything. Hey, hey, try to hit me, in a fight. It's 8 hours or until things happen. It doesn't tell you. I like that it specifies you don't know what the secret is, but it thinks you do. Essentially, you're just gaslighting somebody into being your slave for for 8 hours,
This is fucked.
and like, and it's
This is like, it's not like a charmed version where it's like,
right,
oh yeah, you're doing it because I'm
right.
charismatic. Like, no, this is like, I know something that you don't want people to
Well,
know.
I mean, fear is a way bigger motivator.
What is it that people say? Uh, this is gonna be like a very rough quote.
Two in the
Paraphrasing.
one in the hand is worth two in the bush.
I was gonna say more. It's like it's better to lead.
Make make like a tree, get the fuck out of here. I don't.
It's like better to lead by adoration than fear, or something like that.
Oh,
It's like roughly something along that lines. It's better to lead by people loving you than fear because you're gonna get fucking murked. That's pretty much what it
yeah.
means.
I vaguely know what you're talking about, but yeah, no. It's like this feels like this would be a really good bar to play in a game with an assassin. Like 100%. Like two two brothers, two sisters, two cousins, family members, best friends. It doesn't matter. Like you guys know you kind of went your own direction, sort of, and but you do very specific things. Like you do shadow work, and not into like the metaphysical pagany kind of shadow work. You do wet work type of stuff. Like I don't know.
Literally wet work. You just fucking murk people.
Wet murk. Am I right? Um, so yeah, no, I love it. College of Whispers, like College of Eloquence, is really good in what it does too. College of Whispers is really strong in my opinion too. I would say Whispers and Eloquence are probably my top two, like
Like
top on par with each other for different reasons. Like
yeah, like I can agree with that. Like I would say that Glamour's my top one. Obviously, I fucking love Glamour, but like I wouldn't know which one between Eloquence and Whispers to put
can
for
you
number.
imagine two bards in one game? One Eloquence, one Whispers.
Imagine a group of bards that are all.
Oops, all bards. No, I know. Except Glamour is not allowed still. Um, but
I feel
yeah,
like a group of bards would just be broken.
but yeah, that's the thing is that Whispers is really good in different ways than Eloquence was, and it's good and balanced. It feels like in ways that Glamour wasn't. It just Glamour felt like very one directional and bullshit, whereas Whispers is still kind of one directional in what it does, but it's more pinpoint. It's like I think that's the issue is Glamour is just like all over the place, pulling ass pulls, like it's Vegeta versus Goku type of thing. Um, Obviously Vegeta's Whispers. Um, or no, I'm not going to discredit Black Clover by insulting anybody from Black Clover. Black Clover's great. Um, there's a people post on Twitter about like it's like these are the people that worked hard and these are the people that have like luck, genes, ass pulling, whatever, and they put like Deku, Asta, um, they put a bunch of people like Edward Elric, I think, like they put a bunch of people on the right, and I was like, the two people that don't belong, like if you switch the nameplates and take Goku and Yusuke Urameshi and put them on the bullshit side from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay, I haven't watched Yu Yu in a
He
fucking.
like he's just like he has the ability to like he has his spirit gun and he find out that like he's part demon for something like it's essentially Bleach before Bleach.
Yeah, fair.
Um,
So
And
Yeah, like
they
honestly,
put Ichigo on the like, oh, all talent or all skill, like hard work. And I'm like, no, the motherfucker is genetically like 17 different things.
yeah, that's like so Goku. He's a fucking Saiyan who are literally designed for the closer to death they are, the better
Right.
their power increases and it stays there. You're like, don't get me wrong, he's trained, but people like Edward, where he didn't get his power until his sacrifice. People like Asta, who had to work extremely hard to get that. Fucking Deku, who literally did not have
Yeah.
powers until it was granted to him, and he had to earn it. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, it was handed down to him. That's how the fucking
And Asta earns it every goddamn day.
yeah,
Because it's like he would not be able to wield those swords if he wasn't strong enough to wield those swords.
exactly. And there's
Like
like
the Wizard King couldn't wield his swords. Like if arguably the strongest wizard alive at that point. I haven't watched enough of it, but like if he's not able to hold your sword, then like so yeah, it's the but I like I anyway we've this has been the most shit show of all of our episodes thus far. I really like College of Whispers. We were gonna do 3, but there's no way in hell we can get a third one out now.
I don't even know how long this has been.
An hour and 10 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah,
we sidetracked a lot talking about the prison industrial complex and
I feel like 40%, if not 50% of this video is all fucking tangents.
oh for sure 100%. But if people I mean people don't watch anyway, so at least if they're gonna watch, they can watch for the tangents. Um,
Like I feel like it's just like business plays where it's like people watch specifically for the tangents that Simon Whistler does.
That's fair. Uh, that is also why I say that these are discussions because this is not scripted. We're not just sitting here going, "Yes, this is how I feel. This is this." Like, yeah, we can make these.
Like
We could bang these out in 20 minutes for sure.
I
But
was legitimately drunk up until like probably 10 minutes ago.
I'm love drunk. So yeah, I College of Whispers and College of Eloquence are probably my two favorite. Once again, I don't like bards because I my hang up with people who play bards, but I like eloquence. Like I will for sure.
Bards, warlocks.
I will dip. I've already dipped 3 levels into bard for eloquence. I mean, heat metal. Bards get heat metal. Heat metal is a stupid strong spell, ludicrously strong for a second level spell slot.
Hell yeah.
So, um, yeah, uh, Bardic Inspiration is great. Jack of all trades is great. Song of Rest is great. Like bards get a lot of good abilities. Yeah, dipping 3 levels into bard is all you need to do. Like depending on what your class is, but it's yeah. I like College of Whispers. I think it would be great paired up great with Assassin, which we'll get to eventually. Um, an Assassin College of Whispers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe now I'll make for my 5th character for your game. I'll make a College of Whispers Assassin Rogue Bard combo. Make him a changeling. But I have another idea for a thing, but it needs to be its own class or subclass for Druid or Ranger possibly. Anyway, so that's it for this episode. I know it went all over the goddamn place, but so do Bards. It's all part of my plan. It
What
wasn't.
is it? Fucking hold on a second. I gotta remember the name. Thanks, Tim, for watching this.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Tim. It'd be
It was
nice.
only purely for campaign videos, but now it's like
No,
thanks, Tim.
it's only campaign videos. You don't get to participate in that. You don't come to game. Don't listen to him.
I have a very horrible job that hates me.
I know. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And now you get to listen to the outro song. And that's the outro song. Yeah.